When Esau returned and discovered the deception, he was devastated. Crying out to Isaac, Esau pleaded for a blessing of his own, but Isaac could not undo the blessing given to Jacob. Esau's grief quickly turned to anger, and he vowed to kill Jacob as soon as their father died. Fearing for Jacob's life, Rebekah advised him to flee to her brother Laban's household in Haran. She urged him to stay there until Esau's anger subsided. Jacob, heeding his mother's advice, left his home and began the journey to Haran, marking the start of his long exile. As Jacob journeyed from Beersheba to Haran, he stopped for the night at an unnamed place, using a stone for a pillow. Exhausted from his travels and filled with uncertainty about his future, Jacob fell into a deep sleep. During the night, Jacob had a dream of a ladder stretching from earth to heaven, with angels ascending and descending on it. At the top of the ladder stood the Lord, who spoke directly to Jacob, reaffirming the covenant made with Abraham and Isaac. God said to Jacob, "I am the Lord, the God of Abraham your father, and the God of Isaac. The land on which you lie I will give to you and to your offspring. Your offspring shall be like the dust of the earth, and you shall spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in you and your offspring shall all the families of the earth be blessed." God's promise to Jacob echoed the same covenant promises made to his father and grandfather, ensuring Jacob that despite his current situation, he was the chosen heir of the covenant. God also reassured Jacob with these comforting words, "Behold, I am with you, and will keep you wherever you go, and will bring you back to this land." This divine encounter profoundly impacted Jacob's faith and understanding of God's presence in his life. Upon awakening, Jacob was filled with awe and reverence. He declared, "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it." Out of reverence, Jacob named the place Bethel, meaning house of God. He took the stone he had used as a pillow, set it up as a pillar, and anointed it with oil as a symbol of worship. Jacob also made a vow, saying, "If God will be with me, and will keep me in this way that I go, and will give me bread to eat and clothing to wear, so that I come again to my father's house in peace, then the Lord shall be my God." This vow marked a turning point in Jacob's relationship with God, as he now recognized God's active role in his life and promised to worship him alone. Applications. Trust in God during times of uncertainty. Jacob's journey to Haran was filled with fear and uncertainty, yet God's promise assured him of his presence and protection. This teaches us to trust in God's faithfulness even when circumstances are unclear or difficult. Seek God's presence and guidance. Jacob's encounter at Bethel emphasizes the importance of recognizing God's presence in our lives. It encourages us to seek God and be attentive to His guidance, especially in moments of transition or challenge. Worship as a response to God's faithfulness. Jacob's act of anointing the stone and naming the place Bethel demonstrates that worship is a fitting response to experiencing God's presence. It teaches us to acknowledge and honor God when He intervenes in our lives. Make commitments to God with sincerity. Jacob's vow to serve the Lord in response to God's promise reminds us of the importance of making sincere commitments to God. It challenges us to follow through on our promises and live in a way that reflects our faith. God's plan is greater than our failures. Despite Jacob's deceptive actions that led to his exile, God still reaffirmed His covenant with him. This shows that God's plans are not thwarted by human shortcomings. It reminds us that God's grace can work through our imperfections, guiding us back to His purpose.